And right now, I think the big frustration that I have, and I'm hearing this a lot from folks, is, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, is, I'm wearing my vote hat because at the end of the day, we can never not vote, right? I just don't think there's any value in not voting. But my frustration is you see these white moderates like Abigail Spanberger or Mikey Sherrill or Gretchen Whitmer, people who got elected on a wave of like, Trump is failing, this MAGA movement is failing, we need real change, we need real progress. They get elected, they have Democratic trifectas. They control the House, the Senate, they have the AG, the lieutenant governor. And then when you talk about rubber meeting the road, when that moment comes, they capitulate and say, no, 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 we need to be more moderate and slow things down and take it step by step. Mikey Sherrill with what's happening at Delaney right now, Abigail Spanberger refusing to sign into legislation the collective bargaining agreement that was, hotly fought for, refusing to sign legislation that banned ICE fascists from coming onto state property without a judicial warrant, refusing to sign legislation that would bring down drug pricing. What do you say to voters when they're like, hey, we voted, we did the thing, we were supposed to do, and the people in power are still bootlicking billionaires? What's your response to that? Because I'm having difficulty, just to be very vulnerable, I'm having difficulty finding a good answer when we see that. Because all I hear is Dr. King warning that the white moderate is worse than the KKK, and people like Cheryl and Spanberger proving it in real time.
I mean, it's why I've never worked for people like that,
Yep.
So far, of the politicians that I've directly worked for would be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders. Those are the ones that I've directly worked for, and then worked to recruit others. And I mean, I just stick to the idea that if you can't clean up your own backyard, don't go knocking on your neighbor's door, I guess is the kind of,
Yeah.
and our backyard right now is the Democratic Party. And, people are like, oh, we can't have these big primary fights. We can't have these arguments. We've got to come together. And you can't come together until you get an idea where you're headed, right?
Right.
That don't work. You got to decide who's driving this car. And these people have been driving this car since I'm 45 years old. I've been, basically my life, born when Reagan started. And
Yep.
my whole life has been like, Rahm Emanuel Democrats and, Bill Clinton Democrats and people like that have actively subverted the Democratic Party's connection to workers.